Hello guys and welcome back to a very special episode of Josh Must Win. Now technically this is April 2nd that I'm filming this on, but it will be coming out on April 3rd, which is my birthday, so woo, happy birthday to me. A little bit self-congratulatory there, but it is what it is. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this episode. I was going to wear a party hat, but then I thought, nah, that's a bit sad. But yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy it. But we are going to be talking about Josh Must Win episode 4. I gotta say, things are getting a little bit tense now. And they're starting to get a little bit more frantic because people are starting to clock on that all is not as it seems. And I gotta say, it's gonna be very interesting to see where this show heads from here on out. The first week was kind of tame, but this episode is kind of like a little bit of a turning point. It's going to be a lot harder to keep up the pretense of the favourite for much longer. But before we get into this episode, I just want to say we need to get to 750. As of recording, we're on 747, which I'm pretty sure is a flight, like an aircraft. But anyway, I would like to get to 750 on my birthday, if not before. Ideally before. It would be lovely to wake up tomorrow and see 750 and I go, woo! But also, our big goal is 800. We need to get to 800 by the end of April. That is the hard deadline, guys. Hard deadline of 800 by the end of April. Ideally 900, but I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to push it because you guys are doing a fab job anyway. Thank you to all of you guys who I see in the comment section episode after episode. You are absolutely incredible and I do love you guys so much. I love your enthusiasm and I love the fact that you guys will watch my videos even if you're not watching the show. So thank you guys. Big love to everyone. And if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Join the fam. It's fun, I think. Well, it's fun for me at least. So I'll let the comments tell you whether it's fun or not. But thank you guys. Let's get into the video. So before we get into the main bulk of the episode, I just want to talk about a few little conversations that Josh had near the start of the episode. He was talking to Andre about Miles and about how they both feel like he is playing a game and that he's just not playing it very well, and therefore that's why people are voting him the least favourite, is because they see what he's doing and they don't trust him, which I think is an absolutely fair and valid comment. I don't think that Miles is playing a particularly good game. If he's playing a game at all, do you know what I mean? I feel like he started off trying to play a game and he's now had to completely backtrack. But I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. But either way, it's not going well for him. And I also feel like Josh is now becoming a little bit more of a presence in the house. This is what the celeb experts were saying. They were like, oh, we feel like he's finally found a place in the house. And I do agree. I think he's one of these people that becomes comfortable with someone and then he can be himself and be like, what is going on outside my window? Hang on a minute. Somebody's got their bloody lawnmower out at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. I can't be bothered. Okay, right, we're going to crack on with the episode because you can't apparently hear it on it. If you can, I'm really sorry, but I got to crack on with this. So, the last thing, he was brought into the little, like, diary room area, the crib, the crook, the snug, I can't remember what it's called. And he was like, oh yeah, Vicky Patterson was really lovely. I'm a Vicky Patterson fan now. I didn't know who she was before, but now I really like her. So I thought that was a really sweet moment. And honestly, Josh just is a very sweet guy. However, things are getting a little bit tense and a little bit awkward because they're starting to work things out, the housemates. They're starting to piece things together and they're starting to realize, is this potentially fake? Miles was actually the one that brought it up first, Darius, and was like, I can't help but feel like someone has been put in here with a script. And he joked that it might have been Josh, and I was like, fuck. He is so close to the truth. No one's been put in with a script, but it definitely is to some extent scripted. And I actually think I underestimated him and how smart he was, because wow, he just pulled that one out of his arse and was pretty much on the money. that Josh is somehow at the center of all of this. And then later on, they noticed, they confirmed, they were like, that is definitely a picture of Pete Wicks. 100%. And then someone else was like, oh, it might be Bradley Cooper though. It's like, but why would there be a picture of Bradley Cooper? But also, why would there be a picture of Pete Wicks? It does seem a little bit awkward and a little bit weird. So, I feel like this is danger zone now. They've realised that people are starting to cotton on, and now they need to get rid of Miles. Before I said, like, it wouldn't be smart to get rid of Miles because he's a scapegoat. He'll keep on being put up for eviction or whatever it's called, elimination. But I think they need to get rid of him now. I'm kind of team get rid of Miles now. So, we are going to talk about the challenge. It was called Read the Room. I'm going to be dead honest. I probably am not going to be able to find any pictures. So, I'm going to put up some shocking facts there that you guys might find interesting, because this was all about shocking facts. The celebrities actually had to call up what's his name, Josh's mum, and be like, have you got a really cool story for us? And she went, yeah, he saved someone's life. This girl was on a scooter and she fell off the scooter into the road, and there was a lorry coming, and he grabbed the little girl. I think it was a little girl. I think the whole thing was like she was on a scooter and not like a broom broom scooter, like one of those. You don't know what I'm doing with my feet, but yeah, we're going to go with that. So I thought that was a really, really cool story that his mum told, and the fact that he saved someone's life in such a sort of heroic way is kind of endearing. Again, I feel like it's a little bit too endearing. Is this scripted? I don't know. I really don't know, because like I had someone comment and they were like, oh, like, isn't it going to be a bit like awkward for Josh when he comes out and he realizes he didn't actually win by his own merit? They've been making him win this whole time. And I was like, yeah. But then also, I feel like at the end, he can only win if everybody votes him the favourite. So if he's not voted the favourite, they lose. So it's a weird one. It's a weird social experiment, but I'll be interested to see how it turns out and how sort of it affects him, because yeah, I don't know if I'd take that particularly well. But then I don't think I'd be an underdog. I think I would be like, I think people wouldn't underestimate me. I think people would expect me to be quite good at it. I don't know, because I watch a lot of reality shows. I feel like people going in would expect me to do good, so I wouldn't get the underdog edit. So yeah, the shocking facts were as follows. They weren't actually that interesting, some of them. Darius apparently collects fridge magnets. Don't we all? Jeanette is apparently a member of the Mile High Club, which I found fascinating. I thought that was really, really entertaining to find out. Maddie said that she wants to be a surgeon, which I found so funny, because Maddie being a surgeon just doesn't really marry up with what we know about her, because obviously she's like this like plastic surgery person who does OnlyFans, right? I just can't see that being a surgeon. I can't see her being a surgeon. I think she's lovely, don't get me wrong, and a lot of my conceptions of her going into this show have changed as I've gotten to know her. But I still can't see her being a surgeon. I think it's a lovely dream. But also, I'm an avid fan of Grey's Anatomy, and it really made me want to be a surgeon. And then it made me go, no, actually, I want to play a surgeon on a TV show. That's more my speed. I don't actually have people's like lives in my hand. I just pretend like I do. And I'm good at pretending, so I feel like that would be good. Next up, we had Sofia. Apparently, she set her hair on fire during a date, which was really funny. Apparently, Miles was head boy. Yeah, cool, I guess. Louie, apparently, this is the one I wanted to know what the fuck happened, because we didn't actually get any information about how this happened. But apparently, Louie broke onto a runway at an airport and halted all the flights. How does that happen? Huh? I'm so... How was he not arrested for that? How is he not in prison? Like, what? That's crazy. Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. And then last but not least, Andre has apparently slept with his roommate's ex the day they broke up, which is wild. That's kind of crazy. That's not bro code. Sorry. I'll say bro code is shit for a lot of things, but bro code in that sense, yeah, that's kind of an unwritten rule at the end of the day. Like, come on. Like, yeah, you don't sleep with your roommate's ex, and you certainly don't sleep with your roommate's ex the day they break up. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine the tension and the hostility in the household if that came out? Oh my god. I dread to think. I dread to think how that would go down. So we are now on to the favourite and least favourite. And I gotta say, it was a lot more compact because obviously Maddie and Miles weren't allowed to vote. But I have a feeling that Maddie and Miles would both have voted for Louie as the least favourite. And therefore, it actually didn't matter. I think the only... and then they would have voted for each other to be like the favourite. And that actually could have changed things. Because it would have put Maddie in first place along with somebody else. But it is what it is. Darius and Aliki went first. I still don't have pictures of them, so you're getting their Instagram pictures. Their favourite was Maddie. They didn't really give a reason why for Maddie. I thought that was interesting. And their least favourite was obviously Sofia. I say obviously. I didn't expect them to pick Sofia, and I think it was a bit of a shock for the experts as well. But they said that basically there's no connection between them, and I think that's fair and valid, personally. Louie was up next, and his favourite was Josh, and the reason why he voted for Josh is because he wants to keep him in the house, and he fears that if he doesn't vote him, then other people might vote him least favourite, and he'll be going home. And his least favourite was Miles, because he's just the worst person there. Not in, like, the worst, but, like, out of everyone, he's just the least favourite, which is kind of the whole point of the voting process, but it is what it is. Sofia was up next. Her favourite is Andre, and that's just because he's her favourite person and she can't imagine the house without him, which I find kind of cute. And the least favourite is Miles, because she just feels like the house cannot move on until he is gone, and they can't move on, get over it, because he is still in the house, and this is now the third time that she's voting for him, which I think fair enough. Andre was up next. Favourite was Sofia, obviously. I mean, like, they just really get on. It's fun, it's cute, it's light, it's fun. I've said that once more. Least favourite was Maddie. Now, that surprised me. I didn't feel like Andre would go for Maddie. I thought he'd go for Miles. But he went for Maddie because he just feels like there's no connection there. And I feel like that's absolutely fair and valid. Like, sometimes you just don't have a connection with someone, and that's not really something that you can do. You can change, I guess. Sometimes you just don't click with people. I've met so many people in my life that I look at and go, people really like you, but I've got no time for you. Like, if I was like, oh, do you want to hang out? I actually wouldn't want to hang out with that person. Next up, we have Josh. His favourite's Louie. His least favourite's Miles. Fairly obvious. I didn't really expect him to do anything else. I thought maybe he might vote favourite as Jeanette, but I think Louie was a smart pick. And last but not least, Jeanette voted for Louie as her favourite and Miles as her least favourite. Again, for obvious reasons. Didn't really expect any different. But that brings us to the elimination. The elimination was interesting because obviously we're back in yesterday's position. Louie is favourite. Miles is least favourite. Maddie's been put up on the block by Louie. It just worked out kind of perfectly. Like Groundhog Day, it was quite entertaining, I thought. And then obviously the experts had to decide who went home. Very, very wisely, they chose Miles. So Miles has now left the experiment thing, and he was told sort of what's been happening, and he went, "Rah, I thought so. I thought something was going on. I thought something was going on." Because he was in there and he was like, "Oh, I'm just a scapegoat." And then people started laughing at him, which was quite funny. And then, yeah, it was just... Miles was... an interesting person to have in the house purely because he brought some kind of drama in. I don't feel like there's a lot of drama in the house without him, but I feel like Darius and Aliki are gonna start like causing some tension and trouble. I don't think they should have added anybody in personally. I don't think they're adding anything to the show. They've got the personality of cardboard, so like, yeah, is what it is. Maybe they're just not being represented on the show well enough. Maybe that's what it is. Because, like, he just seems like a gym bro. She just feels like a gym gal. And I don't click with those people. Like, everyone else has got a little bit more to them. But maybe that's because we've seen a little bit more from them. So, yeah, back to Miles. He was told, like, oh, this is what's happening. And he went, right, what you need to do is you need to work out whether Louie is using Josh. I'll talk more about that in a second. And he also said, make sure you use the wrestling. Because the wrestling is a very, very interesting part about Josh. And he hasn't been able to show it or, like, get people to join in with it. Or, like, engage with his wrestling and how he's a professional wrestler. Or whatever. So I think that's a very, very interesting thing that he said. I'm glad that everyone's sort of happy to hear that this is actually the plan. No one's actually been butthurt. I thought out of everyone, Miles would be the butthurt one, but I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But now we're faced with a bit of a dilemma, because the dilemma now is, do we take down Louie? Because Louie could potentially bring Josh to the final, but there, because obviously Josh is the most powerful in the house technically at the moment. But will Josh be able to win against Louie? So now what they're thinking is, do we engineer an exit for Louie so that Josh can make it further in the game? But if we take out Josh, then take out Louie, Josh loses one of his allies. It's difficult. It is really, really tough, because I think the only people in the house that would vote against Josh as least favourite are Darius and Aliki. And Aliki. I think that's her name. So I feel like they've just got to do something to strengthen bonds. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, really. Do you take out one of Sofia and Andre so that they're not voting for each other the whole time? I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one. But it's going to be interesting to see what they decide in the upcoming episodes. But that is all we've got time for today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And make sure to keep on watching. Tomorrow will be The Apprentice. So stay tuned for that. And then we've got 2 more episodes of this week for Josh Must Win. That'll be Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we'll be back to Married at First Sight, Apprentice, and Big Brother Canada. Got a lot to catch up on, like a fuck ton. But to be fair, once Josh Must Win finishes, I've got nothing else to watch until the Traitors US Season 2 comes out. When that comes out, best believe I'm hopping on it. And then once that's done, then I'll post my All-Stars wish list, because I just need one more season to bulk out the season a little bit more. Because I've realised there actually aren't that many people that I want to see back, because some people were shit. So I've kind of chosen the best players of each season and some personal favourites. So yeah. So thank you guys very, very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you're subscribing. If you're not, join. Why not? It's free. You just need an account, which is also free. So make sure you're doing that. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Keep on ranting. Bye now.